Hi, I'm going to show you how to apply your Jamberry Nail Wraps. To do that, first you need to prep your nails. You will need a variety of items to do this. Firstly, you'll need a cuticle pusher. I've got a metal one, but you can use a rubber one if you'd rather, or if that's what you've got. And essentially, we're wanting to push back all of your cuticles because we don't want any of them or any of your skin touching the nail wraps, because the natural oils in your hands will work against the adhesive. So I've already done that before I started this video. I'm just going to talk you through it. Once you've pushed back your cuticles, you're going to want to use a buffer block to buff out any imperfections in your nails and just smooth the surface, ready for application. Again, I've done that already. And you'll also need to wash your hands in some kind of grease cutter. Either Fairy Liquid works well, or we do sell our own product. This is called Cleanse. This is from our Indulgence hand care range. It's really important that you don't use a soap that has any kind of moisturiser in it, because again, that would be really bad for breaking down the adhesive in the back of your wraps. So I'm following the steps on our wrap application card, and one of these will come with every order that you place, and it has 6 steps. So it says push back your cuticles, buff and clean your nails with a nail prep wipe or with nail prep cleanser. So I'm going to use our nail prep cleanser. This comes in a great pump top bottle. So you need to turn the lid 90 degrees and then just give it a couple of pumps. Okay. You can use a first aid wipe, something that you might find in a first aid kit. You can buy it in a chemist, or you can use, some people say you can use white vinegar. I haven't tried it myself, but that is that's what's being said, so that's cool. Okay, so that's step 1. Obviously you need to do all 10. I've done that before I've started. Okay, then you need to take your wraps. So my wonderful customer group have chosen these for me today. This is Happily Humming. This is the Sister Style exclusive for January 2017. Okay, and you'll see they come in varying sizes, from big ones for big toes down to teeny weeny ones for little fingers. So you need to pick the one that is the right size for your own nail. So I'm going to do my ring finger on this hand, and it's this one here. I know that it is, but you need to know how to know. So they're on a clear backing so that you can line them up and check before you start peeling anything off. So I know that this 4th one along for me is my ring finger. Okay, you need to err on the smaller side to avoid overlapping on the skin and nail edges, which can cause lifting. Okay, and then you need to cut the nail wrap in half. So I'm going to use my nail scissors from my Jamberry Deluxe Toolkit. Okay, and you should peel off from the backing using something other than your hands, because again, you do not want the oils from your hands touching it. So I'm just going to peel it off gently, and the backing is flexible, so that's brilliant. And then I'm just going to snip it down the middle. Okay, so you can possibly see it's in 2 bits. You can use an orange stick, or I'm using tweezers to take it off, just because it's a bit easier. So I'm going to peel it off, and we've got a little flag. Okay, so we've got an adhesive plain side, and then we've got the pattern side. Okay, so second side of the instructions. Step number 4, warm the adhesive side of the nail wrap with a mini heater or your blow dryer for 3 seconds, and you should avoid overheating. So this is the Jamberry mini heater. It is the best investment you would ever make. Listen to how quiet this is. Okay, and it's perfect because it's kickstand. It means that it's hands-free. So I'm going to let that warm up, and it already has. And now just hold the wrap in front of it just until it starts to curl, just like that. You want it to be like those little plastic fishy things that we used to get in Christmas crackers. And then what you need to do is you're going to line it up against the cuticle edge and just gently lay it on top. And you want to check that you're happy with the positioning of it. And when you are, you're going to use a 1, 2, 3 motion. So you're going to go from the top all the way down, 1, and from the middle to the right, 2, from the middle to the left, 3. And then you'll see it's not touching the cuticle or my skin at all, which is absolutely fantastic. Now I'm finding my cuticle spoon. Okay, so we should be applying pressure and heat during this phase. So you want to make sure that your nail wrap is really tightly bonded to your nail. Okay. Make sure you get all the edges and all the way to the ends while you're doing that. And it's totally okay that the nail wrap is hanging over the edge. We're going to deal with that in just a moment. It's really important that you do avoid overheating and that you get a really good seal at this point, because these are going to last you up to 2 weeks. Okay, and if you put the effort into your nail prep and to your application, then you will find it all pays off and you have a long-lasting, chip-free manicure. So step number 5 was to press the nail wrap, and I have done all that, and smooth the sides. Okay. You need to let it cool. Luckily I'm making this video in the middle of January and it is pretty chilly out there, and it's pretty cold in my house as well. So normally I'll do a whole hand and then I'll take the ends off, but this feels pretty cool to me, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. When you're starting out, I would leave it a little bit longer. To take the end off it, you need a nail file, and I would suggest just a straightforward emery board style nail file. Okay, if you want to, you can trim the excess first, and this does make it a little bit easier, so I am going to do that, and just take it off so that there isn't too much flapping around. Okay, then you take your nail file and you are going to want to take it at a 90-degree angle right here, and you're going to go in a downwards motion, and you want to be quite rough with it because you are now taking the end off it, and so you want to break it. So don't worry about being too rough, you need it to come off, and this downwards motion is going to make sure you get a good tight seal on the end. So you shouldn't get lifting or issues. That's just stuck to the skin on the end of my finger now and not to the nail, she says. Just keep going. Oh, and it flicked off and it's gone. So it will just fall off by itself. So if you can see that now, that's a perfectly manicured ring finger. And step 7 says to once more apply some heat. So you want to hold the nail and wrap in front of your mini heater for a few seconds, and then apply pressure one final time. Okay, again, overheating at this stage would not be a great plan. And if you want to make sure you've got a really good seal on the end that isn't going to snag on anything, I would suggest using a glass nail file like this one. And instead of the 90-degree angle, we should use a 45-degree angle. And this is just going to smooth it off nicely so that it doesn't snag on any clothing or your hair. And that should be a really smooth finish on that one. To check whether it's going to snag or not, I learnt this trick from another consultant. It's if you just rub it up and down on your t-shirt, if that's snagging even a little bit, and I can feel a tiny snag, you need a little bit more filing. Okay, and you just repeat 9 more times and you'll have a perfect manicure. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, please do get in touch.